You guys get worn out bowling?
Yeah, dude, your arm is fucking killing you the next day.
Gordo, you blew out your shoulder for like over a month coughing.
You broke your thumb trying to shit on someone's bumper. You can't have anything about anybody's arms hurting doing a real thing.
Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate it and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about Going Dutch. Going Dutch will have 16 episodes by the time season 2 ends on Fox. Today we're talking about episode 1, which is called Pilot, originally airing January 2nd, 2025. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me as always, the boys, Joe, Berg, Nick, and Gordo. What's going on, guys?
Heyo.
Give America erection.
Hey.
As of the recording right now, season 2's underway, and I think there's like 1 or 2 episodes left scheduled.
I think it started in January, the new season, right?
I couldn't find anything that they've been greenlit for a third yet, though, so
No, yeah.
I don't know.
And I noticed too, like, I don't know if this is a good or bad sign, but season 1 was 10 episodes. Now this season, from what I saw, is only supposed to be 8.
That's interesting.
Well, this is also, like, it's weird because the original season was slotted into a mid-season replacement spot where it was January, and then the second season
they did it again.
Also started in January, which is very rare for a second season to do. So I don't think that's bad for it per se. I just think that's the time slot of a January show, right? Like you go kind of like into March, April before shows start dropping off.
Hey, and good on Fox for having a show come out, and we actually heard about it on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it did take till its second season.
I did see a lot of advertising for this show.
I did too. I feel like I didn't know what this was, and then when I saw the picture of Denis Leary in the uniform, I was like, oh, I have seen this. I have seen this like around.
Nick, this was your pick. Anything draw you to it?
Well, 2 things drew me to it. One was just the amount of advertising I saw for it, and we had just done another Denis Leary show recently. Well, not recently now, probably a couple months ago now. But
Christmas, we did the Moody's. Go back and listen to that if you like.
Which was great.
yeah, and I do like Denis Leary. I talked about how I don't like his stand-up necessarily.
We had a long conversation with his.
Yeah, if you want to go back to our Moody's episode, we go into a
Yeah.
lot of detail. Yeah, so you can go back and listen.
Suffice it to what I may have said, in regards to that, I do like Denis Leary, so
You had to prove that by picking another Denis Leary show.
yes. No, but as far as I know what the term Going Dutch means, but have you ever used it? I've never used the term. I've never heard it used.
Oh, I've heard it be used like many a times. I can't say with full confidence whether or not I've said it, but I feel like I have.
Well, like splitting the bill, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
just
feel like
means-
it's used a lot in sitcoms, actually.
What I didn't know until literally today when I was doing some homework is that it's like kind of has derogatory origins.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's calling Dutch cheap.
English don't find a way to like not get their digs into people, even though they're like the biggest colonizers of all time, which is so fucking funny.
But yeah, a couple quick numbers to go over, and I'll, not to get too into it because we'll talk about the show as we go along, but I'll say I'm a little surprised by some of these numbers. Rotten Tomatoes, 85% critic, 52 audience, and then that number's pretty much reflected IMDb 5.6. So not the best fan reception, which I'm a little surprised about.
What's interesting is I looked up to see if they were gonna get renewed for a third season, and one of the top Google results was, I believe it was a Reddit post, was, is anybody else surprised Going Dutch got renewed for a second season? I didn't get into it. I don't want to spoil anything for my own thoughts, or you know what I mean? I think it's probably not. I don't know, but it sounds like maybe it wasn't well reviewed for some reason. I don't know why. Usually that disparity goes in the other direction. Usually the critics don't like it, audience loves it. It's rare that you see that go the other way.
And then when you see like the IMDb score and the audience Rotten Tomato score, usually are pretty close because they're both fan score.
Yeah.
Not to say like one way or another, like not that I think this is like one of the greatest shows of all time, and we're going to talk about it, but like I thought this was very low for what I saw, at least in this episode. Yeah, we'll go through it. And then if you want to watch this show, I believe Hulu is the place where you can find it right now.
No, you actually can't. So,
oh, it's episode 10 of season 1 and then season 2, right? Yeah.
It's always a weird thing.
The other way you can watch is on Disney Plus, but Disney Plus does the same thing.
It's
where
Hulu. They're the same company at this point.
Oh fuck,
so.
that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, that was why have it on there at all?
That is the way to kill any fan momentum, right? People want to watch a show, they hear about it, and then they can only watch the last episode of the first season. People are just going to forget about it and move on.
That's the thing. Like, do you want people to do you want to gain steam on your show or not? Like, deal with complicated licensing rights, once you have a syndicated program. But while you're pumping out new episodes, you want as many eyes on your product as possible, right? Like, why are you going to put most of season 1 behind a paywall when you're still trying to actively gain steam on the show? Like, if you were to happen to catch, I think it might even be tonight when it airs, and you're flicking channels and you see the show and you like it, and they go, oh, cool, I actually really like the show, I want to go start it from the beginning, and you fucking can't. You go, all right, well, never mind.
Yeah, forget it, yeah.
And would 9 20-minute episodes really take up that much fucking bandwidth on whatever server farm you have? You know what I mean? That's what I always think of. I'm like, what do you have to replace this with?
You know what? I think part of the problem is these networks are oversaturated. You know what I mean? They gotta, because, let's just assume they have a set marketing budget, right? And that gets split amongst everything they have. You know what I mean? Some things are gonna get less love than others, right? And this is probably just one of those shows, but I don't know. It's just, especially, I feel like networks are failing at this stuff more and more lately.
I think where they're failing at is they need to have a vault of all the things that Joe has been saying, but just literally call it the vault.
The problem is it costs them money to do that.
Yeah, but you make that a subscription service, though. You get people who want to pay $5 a month to be able to watch old stuff. You'll probably make enough people do it. Or even if, they'll make enough money on people who do it once because they want to watch some show from when they were kids, and then they don't fucking pay attention to the fact they get a recurring charge for 6 months, right? They'll make their money. That's how that stuff always works.
It's essentially why monthly billing became a thing. Because I think gyms, gym memberships started that. They were like, hey, they just forget and they keep paying. They don't show up. We don't have to do anything about it.
Although I will say to these streamers and all these other subscription services credit, though, if you cancel, they're just okay, thank you, see you later. And gyms somehow
bullshit.
It's a fucking sitcom thing. It's how fucking hard is it to get out of a gym membership? Do I have to fax you my ID? Are you shitting me? Get out of here.
I tried to cancel my Disney Plus Hulu subscription, and
now he has a gym membership somehow.
And it said okay, cool, you're canceled. And I was like, great, awesome. Literally the next day, my credit card got charged. It was thank you for your subscription. I was like, what the fuck?
You might have missed the cutoff, probably next month.
Fuck you, cut off my dick, all right? How about this? I hit unsubscribe. You don't resubscribe me just because you want to say that your credit card processor is in fucking Tahiti. Suck my balls, Disney.
Tahiti would have no issue on the credit where the processor isn't differentiating their terms, by the way.
I had a BJ's membership. I don't know if is BJ's all over the country. It's like Costco if you don't have BJ's near you.
BJ's are all over the world.
Okay. So I had a BJ's membership. I have one. And then in November, it was supposed to be up. And it said November 28th that it was going to be up. So I had a thing in my phone to make sure I canceled it because I had a $20 intro rate thing, and they always have those around. And then my re-up was going to be $60. Well, all right, I'll make sure I cancel, and then I'll re-sign up with another deal package. They charged me November 3rd for, even though it wasn't expiring until November 28th. I'm like, what the fuck is this,
dude? I had the same issue. At the register, it's your thing is expiring soon. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll renew it. It wasn't for 3 months. It wasn't fucking expiring. You dickheads.
But they auto charged me. It wasn't even I was bamboozled. I was like, what's this about?
Also, BJ's are on the Eastern Seaboard only.
Okay.
Ah.
I would say the best example to use is obviously Costco because that's nationwide, or Sam's Club because that's Walmart, so it's everywhere too. The worst thing is they stopped doing it now, but a few years ago, Patreon. If you say Nick, when you had your old podcast at a Patreon, right? Say I signed up for it on January 27th, right? Because that's when I heard about it and I want to support. They'd be like, cool, you've been charged $10 on January 27th for your...
Then you get charged in the first.
And the first they charge you again. Yeah. It's how fucking dare you do that to people? Yeah. I think they fixed that now, but that was a real... I think now you get charged monthly on whatever date you subscribe.
On the date.
But But like, man, that's a real way to fuck people out of money. I had a real sour taste in my mouth when that happened to me the first time.
So might as well get into the show before we go too off the rails. Because I really don't know how. I don't know. I don't want to jinx us.
I think this one's going to flow pretty quickly.
We'll see.
There's not a ton of substance.
So the show starts with aerial shots of USAG bomb holder in Germany. We're seeing like just different shots of the army base. Eventually it transitions to like a walk and talk situation in the command center. And that's when we first see Colonel Patrick Quinn and Major Abraham Shah. Those are played by Denis Leary and Danny Pudi, respectively. We already talked about Denis Leary earlier, and then Danny Pudi. We've done Community, and then what you guys are saying? There was another show we did with him, right?
Mythic
Quest. Yeah.
Mythic Quest, yeah.
This is a great walk and talk, though. This is like a West Wing level walk and talk, I feel like.
West Wing, ER.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those, like, it's definitely designed to look authentic to those shows without tipping off that it's a comedy right away, you know what I mean?
Right, you're walking through an army base or military base or whatever. It's very serious. And
so we see them both in their dress blues as we come to find out later. And basically, it sounds like, from what I understand, this is Quinn, who Denis Leary's character, thinks he's up for promotion. So they're walking and they're going through all his stats. So it looks like Major Abraham's kind of like his right-hand man. And he's going over all his accomplishments, everything he's done. You know, he has a decorated 30-year career, special forces, his work with the Rangers, all this stuff like that. And then he gets to the part where he's like, oh, and then, you know, we'll mention that you're like, you know, a father. And he's like, whoa. He's like, don't mention family. That he's like, that softens it up.
And you get where this is going. His character's going right away, where he's like,
see, it tips stuff off, but I'll tell you, like, stuff that happens later I didn't quite see coming. But this is the first kind of tip off that he has a disconnect from his family.
This does feel very right, though, in this like modern, and this isn't being political, I'm just bringing up, right, in the modern like Department of War, right, where it's like, all you generals, anybody who's overweight, lose weight. We're not being a fat army. Like, we're just a weird fucking place with the military right now, where this tracks very well to like where we're at.
Well, I think that's always like real dedicated. I mean, as we'll talk about some of the people we meet later on, but there is a standard. You know,
yeah.
They don't want us.
Oh, we would be the last. They want us for like the front lines. We could be amazing bullet catchers. I don't imagine we'd be useful for anything else.
Speak for yourself. The generals like fart jokes. Better join Team Fart, Squadron Fart, if you will.
Oh, so make them laugh before they let you get shot in the front lines. Well, at least you've got that going for you.
That funny Gordon kid died today.
Burr, burr, burr.
We played taps an extra low measure for him, just so.
So as they continue to walk, we're hearing Quinn talk about how he's assuming he's getting this job because they want him like close to the border in case things pop off with the Ruskies, as he says. And Abraham's telling him, like, again, sir, like, hide your glee for World War III. He's like, it's coming, baby, it's coming.
He was super excited, yeah.
And then the two enter this office, and waiting behind them at the desk is General Davidson. And he greets them. Well, first, Davidson notes that they're both in their dress blues. And he's like, well, thank you, sir. He's like, I've always imagined this day in my head, and I was wearing this when I pictured it, but I didn't imagine you being here. It's like, oh, well, I wanted to be here. I've, been waiting for a long time for this. He's like, how are your girls, by the way? I heard you're a grandpa now. And he's like, I don't have a grandkid. He's like, I could have sworn. And then you have Abraham going like, the baby. He's like, oh, the baby. Yes. Yes. So I do have a grandkid.
Also, Joe Morton. We should probably mention that it's Joe Morton who plays the general, who Miles Dyson from T2 and the lieutenant from Speed 1 and 2. Like a huge part of childhood movies for me, at least.
I've seen all those movies. This guy's face didn't ring a bell at all. That's crazy.
You know, in Terminator 2.
To be fair, I haven't seen Terminator 2. Wait, no, Terminator. For some reason, I thought you said RoboCop, not Terminator. What was he in Terminator 2?
In Terminator 2, he's the
he's
the
like
tech
the scientist.
guy who like he has to blow up the building because he's the one who found the microchip and he's gonna end up causing the end of the world. It's like Terminator shoots him and then they have to save him. It's like, you can't kill him. And they go to the building to like destroy the microchip.
No, it's not the Terminator. It's Sarah Connor that tries to kill him when she runs off alone.
Yeah, Arnold cuts his arm open in front of him to show.
Oh, okay. All right.
his death scene, he like saves the cops to kill himself.
I still didn't recognize him, but now I know who you mean. Okay.
I mean, that was 35 years ago now, so I guess,
So he's continuing to talk, and, when he realizes he is a grandfather, he's like, oh, he's not even really like a person yet. He's more like a blob. And Abraham's like, oh, his name's Owen. He's like, I don't love that.
Does he say Cublob? His name say Ublob. I think he says Cublob, which I thought was very funny. I tracked in my notes as Cublob.
I thought he said Ublob, but could have said Kablob.
No, I will say this. If he said Kablob, funny. If he said Ublob, less funny.
What's kablob?
I thought it was him being funny. Like, he's just kind of a kablob.
He's a chicken kebab.
Chicken kablob.
He then asks about his other daughter, the one that he met before who went to West Point. He's like, oh, I'm sure she's fine. So he has a complete disconnect from his family.
That's telling too, right? If he has a daughter who went to fucking West Point and he's a high-ranking military official, you'd think he would be more up on her, goings on.
He then asks the general, like, so why is it that you're actually here? He's like, well, I'm the new commanding officer here. He's like, no. He's like, I'm going to be the new commanding officer. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, they called me to report for an emergency command position. He's like, yes, you're reporting here and taking emergency command in USAG Stroopsdorf, 90 minutes away in the Netherlands. Like, is that even a combat base? No, it's a service base. One of our smallest. Like, I apologize if our message was a little misleading. It was supposed to be very misleading. And then he goes to talk about, like, hey, remember that training thing you did a few months ago? We guys had the body cams on? Like, yeah. And then he opens up a laptop and plays, like, the body cam footage. And you see, like, Quinn during, like, one of the drills. And so there's a soldier who's talking to Quinn, and he's going, hey, you were in Task Force Dagger, right? Like, General Davidson, the action was really heavy there. He's like, Davidson wouldn't know if there's any action. And he's a giant, and then we're just getting a lot of bleeps. I assume he's calling him a pussy.
Yeah, I tracked that one as Davidson's a giant pussy.
Yeah, he said he's never seen any action. He's going on. There's a lot of bleeps. And there's just that, like, look of horror on Quinn's face as he's watching the laptop and, like, shuts it. He's like, I apologize.
A very fun of the time joke, too, like the body cam footage stuff, right? Where, like, you see that everywhere now, right? Like, it's almost like ring cam stuff. Like, it's so ubiquitous. Like, people think they can get away with shit and they're on camera all the fucking time.
Well, it's one of those things that's like, even like reality television, right? There is a point where whether or not you know you're being recorded, you just become comfortable. Like, when I worked at my old job, there were cameras everywhere. And it's funny now because my new job is to watch the cameras. But at one point, I was a guy who was being watched. And there's cameras everywhere. You're being watched by your managers and other people. But you just forget. There's just a point where you're loose. You know what I mean? And that's what happens in these situations. And in this situation, obviously.
There was a documentary recently, a Netflix documentary. I think it's called, like, The Worst Neighbor.
I just watched that like a week or two ago.
Really good documentary, true crime. But the whole thing is nothing but body cam footage. And it's so fucking compelling to watch. Just for watching, like, from chest height of all of these people.
I didn't think it was going to be able to hold me when I realized that was like the whole movie. And it was super interesting. I don't want to spoil it, but I would definitely say if you haven't watched it, give it a watch. It's on Netflix right now.
You will have an opinion on that person for sure. And it will likely be that there are some bad fucking people in this world.
Yeah. Quinn's asking, so anyways, why the Netherlands? And he goes, to drive you insane. And he just starts chuckling.
I do love this too, because any regular, like, he's a Warhawk guy, right? So, like, if someone's like, hey, your job is to be away from all of the fighting, to be in the Netherlands, like a fucking...
And just like a service station, yeah.
At a sort of action-based station, hanging out all day, fucking eating cheese. Most people would be like, fuck yes, what a great retirement
job, right? That's the high seniority job that you want.
Major Payne would hate that.
That's true. Major Payne would also hate that.
And so would Bam Bam Bigelow. So
we get a quick intro. It's not much. It's, like a 5-second little, like, whistly military jingle while we see a couple flags that have the name of the show.
I appreciate this because if you've got, like, a motor mouth comedian as the head of your show, don't waste time. I know we talk about, like, how sometimes you want the classic sort of theme song, but, like, in this case, if you've got somebody whose whole shtick is, like, joke, 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 I think, like, a really quick intro is perfect.
I don't know. I think this is the ideal type of show for, like, a military song type long intro.
I can see it going either way. Like, you could get away with that an extended version of just military type whistling march song.
Whistling snare drums.
I guess it depends on like how meaty the episode, but I don't think it adds or subtracts with a show like this because I think it would just be something very generic if they were to do it. But that closes out. Next scene, we see this big neon bowling alley sign. Then it pans down, and like right under it, it's almost like a shopping mall where it shows like all the other places in the plaza, but this is just a giant neon bowling sign, and under it mentions like the army base under it. Quinn's like, the sign makes it seem like the base is inside the bowling alley. Like one of those little Starbucks that's inside a supermarket.
I do like too. The little header says that it's the least important base in the world. Like a real knocking down. We were in Boston a couple weeks ago, or a month ago or so, rather, marveling. Right, you leave a city for a while, how different it changes. I was like, where'd the Starbucks go? That's crazy. And then I walked into the grocery store we used to always go to, and there was just a fucking Starbucks inside of it, in this like overly crowded grocery store, and I was like, they shouldn't do this. Like, this makes no sense. And just like it was chaos between people trying to, like, if you had a mega like a Walmart, I get it, but seeing those inside like little city grocery stores, that's too congested.
I worked in many supermarkets in my day, and only one of them that I can recall like had a Dunkin' Donuts in it. That was like dangerous for me because it was right next to my department, and I was just every time I would just drink iced coffee after iced coffee because it was right there. So every time I finished, I would basically buy a new one. And it was not great for me to have that right there.
I find myself eating at Dunks more than ever because it's more affordable than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Although they ruined that. They had like the $6 deal where you got like the sandwich, the hash browns, and a drink for $6. And now it's like a $5 deal, but you only get like one wake up wrap. It's like, well, that's not nearly as good of a deal because one wake up wrap isn't a meal.
I have not spoken to a Dunkin' Donuts employee in a very long time because I use the app to just go in and pick up. I don't get Dunks very often anymore. This was a while ago. But on that app, you accrue a ton of points, and like you can get like a free coffee for like 700 points. I have like 8,000 points. So I've just been like getting stuff for free for months because I have so many points.
So be careful. So not long ago, like a few months back, they changed their rules because before,
I knew that, yeah.
Before you could accumulate points forever, and then they changed it so they only last a year.
They expire on you, yeah.
And what you get for your points has changed. Sorry for this tangent. So it actually costs more to get items than what it used to cost. So when word came out about this at the time, I had like this long, like at work, I was known for like hoarding my points, and I had over 40,000 points with Dunkin' Donuts.
That's the guy that holds his points.
So when amongst like friends and stuff, it was like a known thing. It's not like I wore a shirt, but like it was like
they just called you J Point.
Oh man, my fucking points are gone.
Yeah,
I have 122 points. I had so many points.
Did you get bragger?
To not be in that situation, I started using my points aggressively, and I was like, I was living off Dunkin' Donuts for like a month, basically trying to get all my points down.
I kind of stopped drinking coffee recently. Like I'll have like maybe 2 a week now, but it's not an everyday thing for me anymore.
It's a multiple day.
How are you going to leave half drinking coffees in people's cars now?
With the separation of the cream at the bottom.
I have my calling card. You have yours. Mine doesn't smell as bad as yours.
So, anyways, so they make it into the actual base, and we're outside, and we're seeing all these different exterior shots, and we can see right away that this is a much more relaxed area. It seems more like
it's a country
kids
club.
at camp. You know what I mean? It doesn't come off like an army base.
I also laughed at this too. Do you guys remember the movie Crazy Heart, the like Jeff Bridges country music movie?
No.
That was like a big deal.
No.
It came out like maybe 15 years ago.
Oh, I remember the name.
Yeah, it was like a big movie, like won a bunch of awards or whatever. But like the first scene of that movie is he's like a downtrodden musician, and he pulls up to his like next gig and like gets out of the car and pours out like a gallon bucket of piss he peed in the car with, and just shows it at a bowling alley. He just goes, "A fucking bowling alley," like in that Jeff Bridges voice. It's like all I could think of was when he walked into the place, looked up, he's like, "It's a fucking bowling alley." That's somebody who's played shows in bowling alleys before. I definitely understood that very well.
I was going to play one bowling alley and it got canceled on me, so.
I played a bowling alley show once. Jay was there, but he got in trouble for drinking before the show, and they wouldn't let him in.
Was that at a bowling alley?
Yeah,
The
that was a bowling
Misfits
alley.
show?
Yeah.
I was
Were you there too,
yeah.
Nick? I can't remember. That was so long ago.
Well, anyways, so they're walking around. Quinn's like, still waiting for my first salute. And then he's like, oh. And then you just see like the soldier ride by on a bike and he's like ringing the bell and waving at him. And he's like, did he just wave to you like Forrest Gump on a shrimping boat? Yes, he did.
Done. The show had me right fucking then, yeah.
Quinn's also quick to notice, like, hey, where are the guns? That's like a runner throughout the episode that there's like no guns on this entire base. And they find like this big like lookout tower. It's like, oh, we should get up to the tower, get some high ground and see like what we're working with. And that's when another soldier rides up to them on a bike and like cuts them off. And this is when we first meet Corporal Papadakis, who's very much the comedic relief of the show.
Fucking hate him.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked him.
I'm with Ferg on this, but I love everything that Denis Leary says to him. When he tells him here, he looks like they found Jesus dead in a river. That is the most fucking like Don Rickles joke of all time. I was crying laughing at that.
That was a really good one, yeah.
I think like his character is like, you know, he's supposed to annoy you, but like in an endearing way. But I guess he doesn't quite teeter to the area where you need to be with them. But I mean, like, you're supposed to be like, wow, this kid's a shitty soldier. And like, and he's like, says some annoying shit, but I found him to be funny. And then after what Joe said, after he said that, Papadakis like, oh yeah, it's funny. And then Quinn like goes to almost like lunge at him and Abraham's holding him back. Like, no. He's like, there's a fat hippie on a bike. Like, you're wrinkling your dress blue, sir. And then to like distract him, he's like, hey, here's a building. Why don't we go over there? It looks important. And then we cut to them being greeted by Sergeant Dana Conway. She's like, oh, welcome to the fromagerie, sir. They're like, what? They're like, cheese. It's what Stroopsdorf's known for. Cheese, laundry, and bowling.
She's on Florida Girls, by the way, which we also covered.
Oh, was she? She was a girl from Florida Girls?
Yeah, she's one of the like main cast of Florida Girls, yeah.
Oh, whoa. The one who was like dating the old guy?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Go back and listen to our Florida Girls episode. Joe made us watch that.
That show was fucking amazing. Also, you know, it'd be amazing if you walk into a job and you're like, I hate this. And they're like, well, we make cheese here, though. Like, quit drilling, you struck oil. Not bummed out at all.
Maybe he's lactose intolerant.
That would be unfortunate. I feel like Quinn is the type of guy who doesn't believe in food allergies. So even if he had them, he would just eat through them.
He'd be ripping nasty farts if he was.
Look, that's not like I got gluten last week. Okay, I've been glutened in a very long time. I got glutened at the barbecue restaurant I took you guys to, and I've eaten there plenty of times. Never had any issues. Sometimes it just happens, right? Like that's the cross to bear. Sometimes, Gordo, what you just said, that's not the day. That is not the day. And it was my day also to get up with my daughter on Sunday to like take care of her. So there's a lot of like, we're going to watch Humpty Dumpty on the TV for 20 minutes while daddy goes to the other room. And then yelling out like, you okay, Bubba? Just like dying in the bathroom until my wife woke up. It was a long fucking
Now, Joe,
day.
I don't find it funny that happened to you. I assume that's a terrible experience.
It's not fun. It's an awful
The
awful
way
day.
you say I got glutened.
That is the term. That's what we in the celiac community use. Yeah, that's our special inside term. You get glutened.
While they're at the fromagerie, there's like the talk like we're in the horse tent. Like this is the whole like the running thing is that he's been like taken out to get killed. Like this is his like they're trying to like kill you easily here. This is his like they're sending him off to. Why can't I
off
fucking
the pasture.
talk? Yeah, they're sending him off the pasture.
Like the cows who make the cheese for the fromagerie.
Is it called a fromagerie or a cheesery?
Well, they said
Fromagerie.
fromagerie.
Well, if
so
you're
I'm
in
gonna go with
France,
that.
I would imagine they wouldn't call it a cheesery. I would imagine at a French-speaking place they would say fromagerie.
Is that like, no, I'm wondering, is that what it's called? I've never thought of like a cheese making factory before.
See, I never thought of it, but then once I was told what the name was, I no longer questioned it.
Yeah, I assume that nobody calls it a cheesery.
It helps if you watched the show.
But I imagine if we like wrote to Greg Cabot, be like, when you make the cheddar, is that at the cheesery? They would probably be like, do you mean the fromagerie? Like, I don't think they call it a cheesery there. Or they call it the farm or the factory. I just don't think cheesery is the right word. Either way, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know it's not a cheesery.
Cheesery sounds like one of the fucking stupid Family Guy cutaways with Chester Cheetah doing something where he's like, let's take you back to the cheesery. Like, it's just too fucking far along.
Oh my God.
What?
Cheeseries are real.
I quit. I'm no longer on this
And
show.
Jay, we've been to a cheesery on Martha's Vineyard.
Oh,
You remember when we went to that place?
You fucking
It was, I think it was a brewery too, but it's also got curated cheese selection.
Yeah,
it's
Bad
Martha's
Martha's.
Vineyard Cheesery.
But they're most commonly creameries.
Creamery. They're like cat. Yeah. Isn't Hood Creamery?
Yeah, but that's also could be milk too.
I mean,
Westland Farm, right?
I hate to say this to give Gordo anything here, but the Merriam-Webster definition of cheesery is very simple: an establishment in which cheese is made.
Yeah. Oh, what's that?
Gordo, I don't like living in this world. I'm giving you all the credit. You were correct. I don't think you were on purpose.
In all fairness, you getting that right, it's like the person that looks up a word on the thesaurus and they use that word, but it still doesn't fit.
The thing was, and to go back, we've already been told that this place that they're at is a fromagerie. So we held to what we were told they were at. So I don't think the question.
We went with the writing.
Yeah, which is still true. That is still a fromagerie. But in any event, after she explains like the three big things that they do there, we get like the quick cuts where, you know, it's like, yeah, so we do cheese and then laundry, and we see them in the laundry place, and bowling.
This is a lot better than the gym tanning laundry edict of the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, I would replace gym and tanning with cheese
And bowling?
and bowling.
Yeah, that's way better.
Cheese bowling laundry? Hell yeah.
I'd
Sounds
rather
like a day.
do laundry and tan than bowl, 'cause I fucking hate bowling.
Bowling's so fun.
How do you hate who hates bowling?
I
What
hate
is that?
bowling.
What do you
It's
mean
boring.
you hate bowling? How have I known you for this long?
Ferg decided, if you remember, like 20-something years ago, that he hated bowling when we used to go bowling a lot. And it's just one of those hills he's going to die on for no reason.
What about Candlepin? Can you roll Candlepin?
I'm not dislike it because I can't throw it. I just think it's a boring game.
I will stand by the Candlepin is the proper bowling.
I think bowling's like, first off, bowling's a great date night, like solid date night.
Oh, so fun, yeah.
It's like fun to do with your buddies. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's the right level of like activity.
I'm sure we've talked about it before, though. The one thing that I hate the most about bowling is the next day you feel so out of shape because like whatever muscles you use to bowl are different than muscles you use for anything else.
Yeah,
And you
it
feel
is
like
weird.
you were just like put through the fucking ringer the next day. You're like, what'd you do last night? Like, I was bowling while eating pizza and drinking beer. It's like, well, why am I so fucking worn out?
You guys get worn out bowling?
Yeah, dude, your arm is fucking killing you the next day. When was the last time you went bowling? I went bowling like a month ago.
Gordo, you blew out your shoulder for like over a month coughing.
You broke your thumb trying to shit on someone's bumper. You can't have anything about anybody's arms hurting doing a real thing.
Gordo,
My fucking thumb!
I had a video of that too, and it's gone forever.
Hey, thanks for talking and getting the heat off me, Gordo.
Yeah.
That girl he did that to, by the way, is like the most fucking like normie, has no idea, like wouldn't have any, like has no idea that we fucking invoke her name like once a week. She's there with like 30 redheaded kids in her fucking lap and we're just constantly just like, my fucking thumb. It's so funny. So no, she has no idea we bring her up so fucking often.
Just the fact that you broke your thumb aggressively trying to rip your own pants off.
Also in a very public street, like not like it was in her driveway
Yeah.
or.
Fucking
That's the group tattoo, ladies and gentlemen. Ow, my fucking thumb with like a
No,
broken
no, thank
thumb.
you. No, thank you.
I'll do it right
my
now. Let's
God.
go.
So
That'll be Joe's second poop tattoo.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
So after this tour, they're like, oh, that's it? No tetherball, no Apple store? It's like, oh, Sarah, why would we need an Apple store when we have, and then it flashes to the next location, a teen center. They're like, a teen, where are the teens? Oh, there's no kids on the base. But last year's budget, there was money for a teen center, so now we have a teen center.
My favorite part about this is it's not like mentioned, but if you look real closely on the back wall, it says reading is radical. which they do have some they're like, we got budget for this last year. It's like in 2023, somebody wrote "reading is radical" on the wall. It's
Radical.
And it's funny because like then you look inside the teen center and it's, you know, it's all adults or like not like old adult, but, you know, like 20 somethings. And there's like a pool table and video games. So I mean, I guess if you're in the area, how does this stuff work, by the way, with bases like this? I was wondering,
You
like,
can't
So you're
get
not
on it.
allowed on.
This show really confused me with their setup.
yeah, because it's like, who's allowed to go to the teen center? Are these soldiers in their off-duty time? Like,
You're only allowed on a military base if you have a military ID. So you have to either be in the military or direct family thereof. So like,
Now they have vendors and stuff. I used to have to deliver to Hanscom Air Force Base here, and it's a rigorous process to get in there every time. You need to have, you know, your ID. Obviously, you need to have an invoice for what you're delivering, dated for that day, and a lot of like stuff. But you can get on. It's just, yeah, you can't just walk in there though.
when I was a Boy Scout, we like camped at Annapolis Air Force Base for like a week. But I'm sure that's like a whole program that's, you know,
Yeah.
a thing. Quinn sees all this. He walks up to this one guy. He's like, look at this juggalo playing this video game. He walks up, he goes, hey, back to work. Move away from the machine before I feed you into it like a quarter. He's like, I'm still on my lunch break.
stop for a second. He doesn't call him juggalo. He calls him a baby gigolo, which is like the complete opposite of a juggalo.
My
Although
bad.
I'm sure there are juggalo gigolos. Yeah.
I'm glad you called me out because otherwise it would have been a really weird thing to just casually see the episode without anybody realizing.
People are
like,
watching it like, why does that juggalo have no
Juggalo.
face paint on? Yeah.
Get off that machine. Whoop whoop.
Oh, it's Fago flavored fromage.
Yeah. So then the guy who's there, his name's Jan. He's like, I'm still on my early lunch break.
Didn't expect the accent, but I'm all here for the accent. Didn't think you'd go full Dutch on this one, but I'm glad you did.
Like, I brought soup from home. Would you like some? We could share a spoon. Wow, I really like your medals. And he goes, I despise your mesh hoodie. He's like, then you're going to hate the fact that this is actually a onesie.
That's so fucking funny. And then I was like, that's gross. And I was like, oh, but it's also kind of probably pretty airy. Like, that's probably pretty comfortable. Yeah.
It's like a baby onesie with a hood made out of mesh. He like walks off and he's like, this guy will talk. And then we meet this kid, Private Chapman. They call him BA. I don't think they ever address him by his name in this episode. He's like, hey, take me to your base commander. He's like, yes, sir. Actually, no, sir. Sorry, sir. Okay, the commander's been running the base remotely for the last 6 months, sir. He's like, all right, well, take me to whoever's in charge. He's like, all right, follow me. And he runs straight through a glass door.
Takes a good bump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
He
a
does
good
take
yeah.
a good bump, yeah. This is the best bump we've seen since the just 10 of us stare scene.
Quinn's like, I like this private. And Abraham's like, he just ran into a door. I was like, yeah, but at least he ran.
Yeah.
And you cut outside.
I kind of love that line. Like, it's like at least he gave a shit, you know? Like, I don't know, you're kind of with him on that.
Well, after you see like all the things we've seen, that's like the closest to any sign of effort he's seen so far. We cut outside and we see the captain addressing a bunch of troops. She's giving them like a breakdown. She's like, hey, you know, we won the category of European support base, parenthetical small, for installation excellence. And they all cheer. So she's like, so as a reward, we purchased the state-of-the-art equipment to improve our cardiovascular health and emotional well-being. She's like, it's time for silent disco. So now they're all cheering. We cut to Quinn and Abraham, who are walking outside. It says, normally a colonel walks into an army base and buttholes clench, but their stink vents are flapping around all loosey-goosey. And then he sees all of those soldiers we just saw and he goes, what the hell? And he sees everyone dancing around doing the silent disco. Talk about loose. I don't even understand what I'm looking at. Abraham's like, you know what? I still don't understand why Davidson would send you to a Dutch Club Med and not Alaska to freeze your nuts off. He's like, yeah. He's like, he's a PsyOps king. You'd think he'd want to send me somewhere where I'd confront my biggest fear, which is failure. And I've never failed at anything except. And that's when you see the captain turn around and freeze up. Turns out the captain is his daughter, Maggie.
Dun dun dun.
You know, we'll say as somebody who didn't, I saw like the ads for this, like just the print ads or like whatever. and hadn't seen the trailer or anything, I didn't see this coming.
I
And
didn't.
when you look
No.
back, you're like, oh, you should have. The Telegraph, this was the West
They
Point
mention
thing.
her. They mention that she went to West Point. Like it all clicks.
But when you see her, you're like, oh, that's good writing. I like this. I see where this
and I
is going.
definitely didn't like. Obviously, all the signs are there too. Like if you were to read like her uniform, you would see it said Quinn on it. But like you're just not thinking about it yet.
Well, they're throwing a lot at you, so you get distracted by everything else.
Yeah, and you're watching
Yeah.
what's happening.
It's very much a modern sitcom, and there's like joke, thing, cutaway.
It's a quick. Everything's very quick moving in this show.
Yeah, I meant to mention it earlier. This show has so many quick jump cuts.
Yeah,
It's very noticeable.
I feel like that's very Fox.
Yeah.
So now we have them like in a face-to-face, and that private BA is like trying to introduce him. He's like, Colonel Quinn, sir, this is Captain Quinn, sir. Oh my God, you guys have the same last name. That's so crazy. That's what she's like. It's not crazy. That's my father. And then she's like looking behind her and everyone dancing the song. She's like, stop dancing. That's Captain Maggie Quinn is played by Taylor Misiak, who we've covered before on Dave. And I'll tell you, I had no idea that she was the girlfriend from Dave, the first season at least, until I looked it up afterwards when I was like looking her name. She had that like I know her from somewhere thing, but I couldn't place it. And I think the fact that she's blonde also. I think she becomes blonde later in Dave. I could not piece it together.
I stand by too. The first season of Dave is the funniest season of Dave. I mean, that pilot where the garage door opens and he's got his dick through the table. It's like one of my favorite reveals in sitcom history. It's so fucking funny.
I'll say I'm a big fan of like Andrew Santino in general. I listen to like Bad Friends and his other podcast, Whiskey Ginger, a lot. His face when the door opens.
Oh, it's so fucking great. Yeah.
For anybody who watched it, it's not in the pilot, but if you watch it in general, there's a milking table scene, which is classic.
But go back to our episode when we covered Dave.
Yeah, listen to our episode.
Years and years ago.
It's definitely a top 10 episode. I think that's when we first started.
It's gotta
It's
be.
not top 10, but it's early on. It was like one of our first, like,
First 20,
I felt
maybe.
like we were like clicking type of episodes too. Did any of you guys recognize her right off the rip? Because
No,
I just
didn't.
like,
I
yeah,
didn't
I
know.
did no.
But again, I mean, Dave has been off the air for a few years now, and that was a few years in, right? So also, like, I feel like we have like a bit of blindness sometimes. Where like we watch so much TV, like sometimes it's just this like giant blob in your brain, you know.
after that scene, we cut to the two of them. Like there's like a little conference room meeting area like in the teen center. So that's where like where they're sitting like across face to face at a table, and they're having this conversation. And we're getting a lot. We're like he's telling her how he doesn't want to be here. She's like, I don't want you here either. She's like, well, why are you even here? She's like, oh, I was sent here as a punishment, which is obviously super offensive to her also. And she's like, oh, this place is a punishment? She's like, this is not a punishment. He's like, no. I was being here with you is the punishment. She's like, oh, I'm just remembering this feeling now. She's like, hold on. I have to report this to my therapist. The feeling is red and shaped like a dagger.
As somebody who's graduated therapy, I feel for her.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have a rocky relationship, and here he is. I don't think he meant it that way, but to say like I'm being punished by being with you. It wasn't that he finds it to be punishment, although I think he does. The idea is like this was why Davidson did this to him, though.
And now I will talk about it at the end, but I feel like Davidson isn't punishing him; he's doing him a favor. He like saves his whole life. You know what I mean? Or like this story arc and this pilot is almost like a movie where like you get everything, and it doesn't lead to me to like you should watch episode 2. It's just like, oh, we've hit the whole story arc.
You're right. This show is 100% like a movie. I feel like it's a movie that we'd see in the back comedy section of our local video store in the 90s.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to be in the army with my daughter. And then at the end, he's like, I'm crying. I do love you. Like, you don't really need to go. But like, we'll talk about it more towards the end. But like, I feel like they maybe telegraphed this in one episode where they should have done it a few episodes in.
They continue to talk, and like I said, she mentions her therapy. He's like, oh, that's great that you still do that. She's like, oh, really? Because you were unwilling to go to group therapy when I brought it up. And he's like, when was that? She's like, 2 years. He's like, that wasn't 2 years. He was like, yeah, it was, because that's when I stopped talking to you. That's when I cut you off. And he's like, huh? And he's been so in his own world, he didn't even realize his daughter cut him off 2 years ago. just didn't think anything of it, which is like, that means birthdays and Christmases have gone by.
It's heartbreaking.
And he's not even aware that he and his daughter are not on speaking terms.
Do you think that's like normal though in the service when like
Not
you're at
to that
different
extreme.
bases?
No, I don't think there's any circumstance in which it would be normal to forget your daughter's birthday twice.
I don't mean the forget. No, I don't mean the forgetting part. I mean that they don't really have a chance to talk. They're probably usually at different parts of the world.
Probably not a lot of opportunity, but to have zero contact for 2 years.
Holidays, you would call.
He didn't even know where she was stationed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like send a Christmas card, something. So he's like, oh, sorry, I was busy saving America. And she's like, why don't you just retire? Like, you've already done everything you need to do. Like, we studied your missions at West Point, and yet you're still unqualified to run a command center due to the fact that you're a raging narcissist. He's like, hold on. First off, that's a terrible thing to say to your father, number one. Number two, which missions of mine were they teaching at West Point? And then, like, they continue to argue, but it cuts outside. So now we're in, like, the main area of the teen center as this conversation goes forward more. And we see Abraham talking to Dana and B.A. And B.A. asks, we see on Abraham's uniform, what does XO stand for? He goes, oh, I'm the commander of Hugs and Kisses. Like, oh,
That's
nice.
a great fucking joke, by the way. That's a fucking solid
I
joke.
thought that was really funny because he obviously he plays it straight. And then the fact that, like, this kid doesn't pick up on it is funny. He's like, no, it means I'm an executive officer. Like, what do they do? And at the time, BA and Dan are playing foosball, and he just basically says, I anticipate every problem, solve it efficiently, and then leave without taking credit. And he, like, just walks up and, like, pops a shot and instantly scores because he's always like a 10 steps ahead type of guy.
The best part of that, too, is that the slyly pushing the little peg over on the foosball for the point. Like, that's the best button of that scene. Foosball is so fucking fun. I wish we all had foosball tables in our houses.
I don't love foosball.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
You judge me for bowling and you hate foosball. Fuck you.
I didn't say I hated foosball. I said I don't love. I will play foosball. I am historically bad at it, and I don't know. I don't love it.
I think you're good at it. I think you just play with dickheads who do this. Like, that drives me fucking nuts. Like, you can't just spin it crazy and just hope for the best. You have to play with actual skill, you know?
We used to have a foosball table at my break room at work. Everyone played too aggressively with it and broke it pretty quickly after we got it. And now we don't have a foosball table.
It is very much a work break room. I've had at least 2 work break rooms that had them, yeah.
You know what the winning move in foosball is? You just jam the thing to the side so you hit the other person in the nuts.
Oh.
That's what we used to do back in the day. We cut back into the meeting room after we can, like, hear them yelling and, like, the other 3 noticing. It takes us back into the room. She's trying to tell him, like, this is a service base. Just because you want it to be a combat base doesn't mean it's a combat base because you took the job out of spite. He said, I do everything out of spite. My body's 60% water and 40% spite. And that's when Abraham walks in.
What a great fucking line that is, by the way. That is so fucking telling. I feel like everybody feels like that at some time.
That feels like such a t-shirt that lame people would wear.
Yeah.
Like,
You see it at in the back of Hot Topic.
Or like even Walmart now, there's like the 3 things of t-shirts you can spin around, and there's like movie t-shirts, and there's all saying ones. Like, that's one of the saying ones.
Hey, guys, do we have a normie t-shirt section? Because I think that it's time that we do that.
I mean, to be fair, a picture of Dennis Leary's face that said that would be a very funny t-shirt.
What I don't understand is he's not there out of spite. He's there out of punishment. He got assigned there.
yeah, I mean, I don't know the specifics. I don't know how this stuff works. He's definitely at retirement age if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So, like, if he wanted to, he could just be like, you know what? I'm going to retire, which I think Davidson would also want. So I guess he's toughing this out. Well, we also learned throughout this episode, too, like, he thinks, it's discussed earlier, that, like, if he does well, he's going to get to go back to where he was and, like, get that job. Even though Abraham keeps telling him, like, no, this is it. Like, your career is dead. They just took you out to pasture. Like, but he still has that delusion. Like, if I succeed here, I'm going to move back up. And it's like, no, it's done.
I mean, it's to show character, I think, too, right? Because if you think of the military as a whole, right? Like, that's a job that's usually you do it for 20 years and you get a pension. If you do it more than that, your pension grows, right? Like, but 20 is like the solid number. Dennis Leary is like 68 in this, and he's been in the Army since he was, say, 20, right? Like he's in a position where he could retire very comfortably, and he's got kids and grandkids and won't. And this is from 5 people who will probably never ever get the chance to retire. We're like, how fucking dare you not retire?
He's also just one of those dudes who, because of his job, though, doesn't have anything else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's not retiring to go, with his, like...
Couldn't even remember he had a grandkid.
Right.
No hobbies, no things to enjoy. I mean, he's like a shark, right? If you stop swimming, you die. Yeah.
Abraham walks in and he's like trying to stop this arguing. We were trying to take the military out of it. We're just talking to his father and daughter. He's like, no, you need to bring the military back into this argument right now and hold on for dear life. And then he's asking Maggie, like, what, you have concerns with the colonel commanding? Yes, sir. And she's talking about this important operation she has going that, if he's involved in could, potentially sabotage. Like, oh, copy that. Please brief us on that operation. She's like, oh, a bunch of us are marching in the Tulip Festival tomorrow. It's like, what? Tulip Festival? And he's like, oh, God, I feel like I'm with Eisenhower on the eve of D-Day. But she was explaining how this was their first invitation to go to the Tulip Festival. So it's kind of a big deal for them. He says, I led Operation Iron Hammer, Iron Saber, and Iron Justice. So I think I can handle Operation Tulip Festival. She says, I think that you're going to break this place trying to fix it. And there's actually nothing wrong with Stroopsdorf. Like, really? Can you show me one thing that's right about this place? And then we cut to them like in the dining area where apparently they make the most amazing food, I guess. And she's like boasting about like how everything's sourced, like all top ingredients. And this is what I liked about this is first off, they both love the food. And then also like we find out that like Abraham's a bit of a foodie.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a scene where he walks in, he's just so enjoying a grilled cheese where you're like, good for you, man. Yeah, they call it Proustian. Like the writing goes really deep here to like go hard on like fucking authors only assholes reference, right? Proust is like one of those authors,
There's a point while they're talking when Corporal Papadakis walks over to them and he goes, oh, food was smacking today, Captain Maggie. And he goes for the high five and she doesn't want to do it. Like, oh, don't leave him hanging, Captain Maggie. Then we find out they have like an elaborate like handshake that ends in finger guns. He's like, oh, first guns I've seen on this base.
Another great fucking line.
And then they like check his hands to see how soft they are, because they don't see him as like a soldier type. And like, yep, smooth as a baby's butt. It's like, do I smell lavender? And he's like, yep, we pick it in the afternoon, sir, right before nap time.
If I could join the army, this is where I'd want to go. Yeah, you had me at nap time.
Nap time and lavender and grilled cheese in.
Sign me up for this base.
Although silent disco kind of throws me off.
Could have a silent punk party.
I don't think I'd want to participate in a silent disco, but I mean, I guess depending on the music, the idea of it's
cool. I'd try it once.
It is not a cool idea.
Have you tried it, Ferg?
No, we just saw what it looks like from the outside.
Yeah, it does not look like something I want to be part of, yeah.
Optically, it's different than how it is if you are involved in it. Because the idea is everyone has headphones on and they're synced up listening to the same song together.
Yeah, but you know what else does that? Speakers.
Well, we do get speakers coming up soon.
But they're eating and she's explaining to them like, we might not be like the soldiers you're used to, but we are still soldiers. And like basically kind of like saying like, look at the precision that goes into like how we put our meals together and all these things we do here. They're eating and something about when Abraham was like, let me get some of that sauce. Let me get that sauce. Like it was so like out of character to how he was up until this moment. But like something about like when he's eating, he like goes into a different world. When they finally finish eating, the two stand and they call everyone to attention. And this is when Quinn introduces himself to all the troops that are in the dining area. It says, first order of business, no more giant bowling signs. It's idiotic. Number 2, everyone in the courtyard for PT now. And they all start flooding out. And he like looks over to Abraham and goes, that's the sound of 100 buttholes puckering.
Is that what it sounds like?
Gordon, I feel like you're the butthole expert. You could probably tell us.
Yeah.
You could be the guy from Police Academy.
You could.
I don't think I have enough sound effects. I don't have the vocal range to do that kind of stuff.
Can you do your Jimi Hendrix?
Well, you nail a pucker and butthole, that's for sure.
I was going to go on America's Got Talent and just do like, hey, I do a butt puckering sound.
Oh, I thought you guys were going to try and goad him to do Bobcat Goldthwait, because wasn't he also on Police Academy?
Will you agree to do Bobcat Goldthwait's puckering butthole?
We did it. 220 episodes. We got there.
Quite a moist butthole.
We cut to them all doing PT outside now, and they're doing like the tires. They're doing the tires, and then like when Papadakis goes to do it, he falls over. Maggie's like, "Way to go, Papadakis! Good try." He's like, "What is this, T-ball?" He's like, "We're not moving on until he does this right. I don't care if it takes all night." And then we get that flash till later in the night, and we just still see him trying to do it, and he keeps failing.
You have to do this though to get into the army, right? That's the weird thing here, right? Because you have to do
Usually have to do a physical abilities test.
Probably have to do that during boot camp, but after that, I don't think
boot camp is a little bit like.
It's still though. It's never hard. You learn hopscotch when you're a fucking kid. Like I never understood tires being difficult.
The thing about in the Papadakis character, I get why he works in the show, but like in theory, like I understand, like, you know, like you take the police test and you have a physical abilities test or a fire exam, and you only do it the one time, and like guys get older, and like half the guys in the force probably couldn't complete it today, but they were able to do it then. But like this very young kid in the army didn't like, it's not like he took this test and then like got grossly out of shape
Right.
4 months later. You know, like he in theory should have been able to do this.
But like basic training, I don't know if Papadakis could have gotten through it to begin with, and I think you have to get through that before you get the cushy job in the Netherlands.
And when he falls, it's like, "Sorry, everybody, it's my gout." Like, did he just say gout? Yes, it's a disease where uric acid builds up. He's like, "It's a disease for gluttonous 16th century European nobles, not active duty U.S. military." Like, I admit to having a weakness for rich foods and goose flesh, much like the kings of old. And he's like, "I'm going to kill him."
And Bobby Hill, famously gout sufferer.
Yeah.
Maggie steps in. She's like, "It's not his fault. I've let go of the leash a little bit. And because my focus has been in other areas, you know, quality control, customer satisfaction." Like, what is this, a Panera? And that's when you mentioned earlier, just Abraham walks over and he's just like eating a grilled cheese. Like, this has got to be the best grilled cheese I've ever had. I mean, I guess if you
Work at a
at a
cheesery.
place that makes cheese, not this one, Guano. This one is not a cheesery.
This is a fromagerie, but there is something so comforting about just like a good grilled cheese sandwich, especially if you're sick. Oh man, it's like the one thing.
Yes. First off, to get into that, I'm a tomato in my grilled cheese guy.
Oh yeah, I love it.
And
that's not a
I
grilled
do pickle.
cheese.
You have pickle in your grilled cheese? You're a fucking communist? What's wrong
Like,
with
I know
you?
I don't like pickles, but that's not like a thing you hear.
Yeah, I love pickles, but that's weird, yeah.
No, I get that at Roxy's all the time. It's good.
You know what? I would have never thought to do it, but it's actually really good. We do our grilled cheese with. I'm the only one who does a tomato, so in the house. So apparently, it's not that common. But also, before you cheese it, you do a nice layer of pesto. It's really good.
Oh, yeah, you're putting pesto in your grilled cheese.
I will say that's more common than pickle, for
No,
sure.
it's not. Who has pesto in their house?
You
I have
make it.
pesto in my house.
Yeah, I don't eat pesto, and there's pesto in my house. Like, there's pesto in most people's houses. And pickles, there's both. But I will say the best grilled cheese is when you add ham to it.
But I hate pickles, but I think I gotta lean on the side of Gordo. I think pickles are more normal than anything in there. People love pickles.
No, tomato is a very common pairing with grilled cheese, especially like tomato soup and grilled cheese thing. And Joe, listen, once you add another meat, it's not a grilled cheese anymore.
Grilled ham and cheese and chicken noodle soup is the only way to not be sick anymore.
Wait, but why does a meat change it, but adding a tomato doesn't change it?
It does. Because
I will say that I believe that the ratio is what dictates this name of the sandwich. If you're going to make a sandwich and it's going to be primarily cheese with like a slice of ham in it, I think that's still a grilled cheese. If it's going to be primarily ham with a couple slices of cheese, that's a hot ham sandwich, a la Cuban almost, you know?
I
like,
adamantly disagree with this. If you add a meat,
yeah, but you're bad with food. You don't know things about food. You think salt and boca means jump in mouth.
no, it
I mean,
means
salty mouth. It means jump in mouth. You also think Rhode Island has better Italian food than the North End?
They make some of the best cucka de pee-pee in all the land. Okay?
I hate all of you. We're not friends.
Cock-a-da-pee-pee. I like that.
So,
Oh,
anyways, I want to go back because this is something I am curious about, and I don't know the first thing about military bases. But this service station where they do laundry and they do cheese, is this like is this a common thing where like military bases have exports that like they make cheese?
Maybe to other bases.
Yeah, if they're sending them to other bases, sure. But yeah, no, they're not just like working.
Yeah, no, they're not like selling it.
So like, why are they making cheese? Like, and someone might have a better.
What, do you not like cheese?
Sure, but we don't need a military base that makes cheese for the rest of the army. You could just go buy cheese.
It's not like prison where it's like, and this prison makes license plates, and this one makes furniture. It's
because that's how it comes off.
Every army base has its own laundry, has its own
food
store, its own food. This is, I think, just more of a European joke.
Are we speculating, or do we know this for a fact?
I think we are clearly speculating.
No. Again,
with our rich military background amongst the five of us,
dated a girl whose dad was in the military and active on a base. I know there's laundry and food and the grocery store.
Yeah, laundry makes sense. Everyone needs laundry.
Yeah, well, I know they weren't making fucking cheese there, though, for sure.
Well, that's
they
my
were
point.
Been to the base. There was nothing there but airplanes and big men who hated me. There was no cheese within fucking miles.
Bullshit. You know there was Fremunda cheese there.
Got a point.
Well, so
that was good.
All right, really quick. Here's how military and cheese can intersect. The military's need for shelf-stable cheese for rations helped create dehydrated cheese, which directly led to snack foods like Cheetos. So this is, at one point, they were using
bless
cheese.
the military.
The U.S. government has used underground caves, some that were former military sites, to store vast stockpiles of cheese.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yes, I have.
To manage dairy surpluses, with some distributed to schools and military commissaries.
That's what government cheese is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's usually American cheese, processed cheese, yeah.
So maybe they're just, because it's so abundant there, maybe they're just taking advantage of the product.
So to reel this back in, there's a point where after Abraham comes in and is enjoying this grilled cheese, Quinn's like, so where does your supply sergeant get all these fine ingredients anyways? And Maggie's like, I don't ask, and she doesn't tell me. He's like, oh, don't ask, don't tell. I was in the military the first time they tried that. Didn't work then either.
The don't ask, don't tell jokes and the follow-up to this, I think, are so fucking funny. This show does a good job of, like, teeing things up and then just knocking them out of the park. And this joke, I think, is a good example of that.
Which takes us right to Dana's office. And Dana, again, she was the one you mentioned who was in Florida Girls. She's the one who originally did the tour with them in the beginning of the episode. And Quinn's talking about how, like, oh, love a good supply sergeant, basically insinuating how, like, they, like, bleed the U.S. Army dry. Maggie's like, are you accusing Sergeant Conway of misappropriation without evidence? He's like, no. And then he goes to open the door, and Dana's kind of like, oh, that's just a supply closet, the key's somewhere. He's like, oh, that's okay, I have a key. And he just kicks the door open. And as soon as he kicks the door open, you get the shot from the inside, and he, like, pushes the coats away, and when you push the coats to the other side, it's a giant walk-in. It's not even like a closet. It's just like
it's a room that was made.
It's a cool hangout room that has all like fancy goods. Like you see, like just like a whole like display of watches and all this other stuff in there.
This is a classic trope, though, as a huge lover of army movies or like war movies, or whatever. Like, there's always the one guy in the crew or whatever who has like he can get everything, right? Like that's like a very big. Like if you think
more
of like
that's more prison movies than anything.
Prison's very similar to, but yeah, like The Great Escape. There's one of those like, I need passports and papers. It's like, oh, I'll get those for you. Like, I need wine. Oh, I can get that. Right? Very much Prison, the same thing. Yeah, it's like there's the one person who, like Red in Shawshank, right? He can get anything.
Or Caretaker from Longest Yard and remake.
And remake, yes.
I like how both of those have come up recently. And I will say, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I love you very much. That remake is not very good.
Oh, come on. That remake's great.
The original is so fucking good. That remake is not great.
You could say the original is great, but doesn't mean the other one's bad.
Look, I tried to do like a big watch of like every Adam Sandler movie recently, or like in the past year. And we watched The Longest Yard remake, and that one's kind of tough to get through now.
No, Jack and Jill is kind of tough to get through.
Jack and Jill's very hard to get through. The fucking Click movie is really hard to get through.
Click's phenomenal. Click just gets really sad for no reason.
Click is not bad.
Click is bad. Dude, go rewatch some of these movies now. Like, basically, after Big Daddy, it really is hard to, like, put a rewatch
You're just
on a lot
mad
of
that he
those.
wouldn't show you how to do the quarter trick.
Well, this conversation can last an hour, so to get past it, we're in this room, and again, the room's very lavish. There's all this stuff in here, and he's not even like mad. He's like impressed, and Maggie's like, I've hung my coat here like 1,000,000 times.
I do love that she's, like, so...
She's in awe, yeah, that she was like put over like this. And Dana's like, okay, how do you want to play this? He's like, pour me a glass of that Gamay. And he's like, is any of this legal? She's like, legal-ish. Military spending is a running faucet. I just dipped the thimble. And he's like not mad. He's kind of like, okay. And
I
basically,
don't get why he's not mad. It's very out of character.
I was a little surprised by that.
No, I get it because, again, the trope, right? Like, you need someone like that in your
Sure.
crew.
Yeah.
So he sees her as that person he can bring
Yeah, but that's
in,
not him. He's very by the book.
Yeah, he's super by the book.
But he knows you need that person that's a little beyond reproach.
Yeah, he's got combat experience. Like he knows like what the real military is.
But Maggie's saying, like, you just knocked down the door to the Goonies treasure cave. Like, why are you not upset about this? And he's like, because this is no longer an investigation. It's now a job interview. And Sergeant, I want you to be a part of my personal staff on Team Shiny. And she's like, sure. So I don't know. I still do. I think it's a little weird that he's not remotely mad. I can see how he sees the value, but I think like he should have been a little upset and then transitioned into, wait a minute, I could use this, rather than being instantly accepting of it.
Yeah.
I think he should have mentioned that this is like a classic military thing to explain why he wasn't mad, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, if you know that, or like that's brought to your attention, then you get it. But if he was like, oh, we always need a person who can procure things, then you understand why he's not mad. But they don't give you that extra little bit of information. So yeah, it makes the character seem kind of confusing, because you're like, well, you're a very by the book guy. Why would you be mad about this?
So Dana gets excused, and now it's just the two of them. And Maggie goes to pour herself a glass, and he like cuts her off. He's like, you don't get any Gamay. It's like, but I like Gamay. Like, no, you don't get Gamay.
This is a classic it's for closers scenario. Yeah.
Is that wine?
I was going to say, is that just a style of wine or a brand or?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You're talking to a lot of trashy people here. I have no idea. I was just like,
I'm just not a wine drinker anyways. Like, that was never my thing.
yeah, I'm not a wine person.
Yeah, but Nick is Nick. What is it?
I didn't know. I had to look it up. Gamay, it's just a type of red wine.
So it's a style.
Right.
All right.
But I will say this, though, like, my wife drinks wine. I buy wine occasionally. I don't think I've ever seen that style at the fucking Hannaford, right? So I'm sure it's a style
Does
that's...
sound good. It's characterized by vibrant red fruit flavors like cherry and raspberry.
Ooh,
That sounds good.
Berg wine.
Okay, guys. Next time we meet in person, Gamay. Gordo, I'm sure we can find a approximation.
I would rather just drink cherry and raspberry juice personally, but
I mean, I don't want to drink wine ever. Unless I'm going to throw it up on your mom's brand new fucking carpet, Jay.
Yeah, the reality is we'll all just be drinking fruity seltzers instead. But
Like, this is limeade.
yeah, I don't know if we've had this conversation before, but basically anytime I have wine, and granted it's not of quality, it's basically like the bottle of wine that's left at a table at a wedding. And then I pour a glass and I go, oh yeah, I still don't like wine.
or the blood of Christ, right?
They don't even do that anymore, really.
I was going to say, I never once in my life, and I was...
I feel like that was gone even like when we were kids.
Yeah, I mean, we were all like, confirmed.
that was the thing.
I've never had wine at church ever.
Me either.
Either.
And I stopped going, I stopped going to church 30 years ago, whatever, but...
He's speaking in tongues now.
Are you okay, Gordo? Are you yeah, you're
Super religious.
resetting?
And now for some expert analysis from the Tasmanian devil.
No, I think COVID killed that. Like off. I think
Probably.
the priest drinks it up at the altar, and I think he does it for everybody.
Imagine if you just lined up and they had like the little plastic shot glasses lined up instead, like so there's no cross contamination. So now basically this scene closes out with Quinn saying like, I'm in charge now. And then the next scene we get is him and his daughter at the Tulip Festival. and they're walking through, and she's explaining like this has been going on for over 500 years, and it all started right here. And she's like, I made you all these cards to give you context for everything. He's like, no, done a million of these parades. Like, says I'm electric off the cuff, so if you want to worry about something, worry about your soldiers tripping over their own sacks or lady sacks. Don't want to be accused of being sexist. Like, well, that was still sexist. And when he walks off, Abraham walks up to Maggie and he goes, oh, the colonel wanted me to tell you that he appreciates all the work you put into the festival. And she goes, no, he didn't. It's like, no, he didn't. That usually works. And she's like, yeah, positive feedback requires emotions, empathy. He didn't even cry at his own mother's funeral. I would do anything to see him cry. Operation Iron Tear. Am I right? It's like she was really proud of that. It's like, yeah, I got it. And then we see Quinn takes a seat like next to a woman like Katja Vanderhoff, who is played by Catherine Tate.
Nelly.
I was very surprised to see her pop up.
You mean Donna?
From what from what show?
What is Donna from? Yeah, I can't place it.
From Doctor Who. That's what she's the most famous for.
Oh, I don't watch that because I'm not a big loser.
Don't insult 1,000 Whovians.
Yeah, like I'm not knocking the Who. I just know the scarf and the phone booth, but it's not my thing.
It's a TARDIS.
So I know this isn't a popular take, and we've talked about this for years before we ever had the show. Nellie to me I did not like her character on The Office at all.
You're not supposed to.
She's my least favorite person on the show.
I thought you guys were talking about the rapper.
Yes,
I love Nellie. If he was talking shit about that Nellie, we'd have a problem right now.
No, but like even when her character was like redeemed and you're supposed to like her, I still wasn't a fan of the character.
No, they just made Andy be unnecessarily mean to her and ruined Andy.
Well, yeah, those seasons got a little muddled anyways, but I don't know, she never did it for me.
That's because you never watched her on Doctor Who.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she was I think she was a good addition. You weren't supposed to like her. She had her arc where she grew on you and kind of had like a redemption sort of. This when like with the whole the bad birthday party or whatever.
Oh, because she hates magicians because that was like her ex was a magician.
Why is Jim being mean to the clown? But yeah, no, I don't think it was. I really don't think there's a bad character on that show. There are some characters who aren't as great. I know people didn't end up liking Clark and Plop, but I liked them. I thought they were
Guilty.
great.
I didn't hate them.
They suck.
I didn't like what they represented, but I didn't hate the characters. I hated the idea that they were supposed to be like the new Dwight and Jim.
Yeah.
Anyways, to see Catherine Tate in this show, it was fun to see her pop up on this. So she starts talking to Quinn and she introduces herself and she tells him that she's the head of Stroopsdorf's Chamber of Commerce. And he's like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm Colonel Patrick Quinn. Hope you guys take it easy on me today. I'm a Tulip Festival virgin. And he starts laughing. He's like, oh, well, I hope you last longer than most virgins. So he's like, so what's your business? Maybe I'll stop by and say hi sometimes. He goes, oh, I own the local brothel. He goes, maybe I'll just see you on the street. Well, not street. I'm sure you're high class owner of a business. I'm going to go give that speech.
He does a good like humana here. I also didn't mean to look ahead, but you find out she's not the owner of the brothel. She's like a social worker who like advocates rights for the sex workers. Like that's the like thing that carries them across later on. But from here, yeah, you just think that she's like a madam.
Well, now we don't have to continue the show if we liked it because Joe ruined it.
Definitely a big will they, won't they right off the bat, I feel, when you see these two.
I also feel like there's one too, and I don't think there is, but like I get with his daughter and his number 2, like I feel like that could be a thing.
What?
Maybe.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, there's nothing.
When they're
there.
together, sort of talking about because they both are his person from a different place. Like they understand and like that's their connection.
They like barely talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like they had like a couple moments in this episode. Like I don't know going forward, but I feel like I could see that.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I definitely with Quinn and Catherine Tate's character here, I see something.
That's not even a will they, won't they. That's a they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely going to, yeah. Has she been anything we've seen outside of The Office since then?
That I've seen, probably not. But
She recently made a return to Doctor Who. It was a big moment for the franchise.
It's funny if you IMDb her, like the main picture at the top of the page.
It's her holding the pyramid.
the saber
Yeah,
pyramid.
yeah, I noticed
tablet,
that.
yeah.
I wish it was her eating the taco, which I think is like her crowning achievement in television history. Just pushing taco meat into her face.
He gets up to do the speech, and then he sees that guy Jan. Jan was the one who had the mesh bodysuit on in the teen center. He's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm also the translator." He's like, "Doesn't everyone here speak English?" He's like, "Yeah, but I also translate social cues. For example, you really like her, but you're trying to hide it. Why?" He's like, "Get away from me." He gets up and starts doing the speech, and it's starting off okay. And he introduces himself and like, you know, what they do and how they're proud to represent their country. You know, it's going well. And he like looks over to his daughter. He's like, "Look, electric off the cuff." And then you start seeing like all the soldiers who are starting to do the parade. It's like first as the wheels of cheese, and you see them like marching, holding the cheese. And then he's like, "That's one of that's what we do, Stroopsdorf's one of the things is we make cheese, and here's the laundry project." And you see them and they're like doing this like interpretive dance with like linens. And he's like, "What are they doing?" She's like, "It's in the note cards." He's like, "They're performing an interpretive dance about laundry, Cirque de Laundry."
And then you cut to the guy who's got like, he looked like he had his head up his ass and was twerking.
I did not catch
What?
that specifically.
I just saw people dancing, but
No, there's one guy. What after
He's talking
he
about
says-
the guy that does the weird walk across
Yes.
the thing. I know what he's talking about, but I did not get that visual that he's talking about it. No ass and head.
Yeah, look at it. They just pull up the tape.
So now that he's watching this dance, though, he's like starting to get frustrated. Like the realization of like what his life is now is setting in. He goes, "You know, I used to lead soldiers in a battle to fight the enemies. Now I lead them in to fight stains." and like they can detect like, uh-oh, he's about to explode. Next is like the bowling group, and he sees like the giant bowling sign. And Abraham's like, "All right, everybody down." And he freaks out now. Like, listen, I get that he wanted all the bowling signs taken down, but I mean, this is the bowling part of the march. He's like, "What is the first thing I said? Day one, first order I gave. No giant." And he like runs up, and Maggie runs up and unplugs the microphone, and you just see him still like ranting into the mic, but no one can hear him anymore. And he's like losing his shit. And then he eventually like storms off the stage and like rips the sign in half.
this also made me think of like they mentioned Forrest Gump earlier on the bike, but like this is the whole Abby Hoffman scene of Forrest Gump, where it's like, in Vietnam, they hardly ever have any. They just like plug him while he's speaking. You said it all, man. You said it all.
Part of the bowling marching part of the group is Papadakis. He goes, "Hey, what happened to your goat?" He goes, "Big time players make big time plays in big time games." He's like, "You're a big time disgrace."
He is. Court martial him.
Ferg, I 1,000% agree. Put him in the fucking clink and let him rot to death in fucking Leavenworth. But I do appreciate, like, there is that thing where it's like, you do step up when you have to, sick or not, right?
And when he does rip the sign, there's like the guy who's like just watching the parade's like, "Oh yeah, being very American. Like it's better than being from a country that legalized drugs and ratted out Anne Frank."
Man, what a fucking great joke that is. And you see the genuine pain on everyone's face being like, fuck, that's too far. You can't say that.
So he ends up storming off, and then we cut to that night. We see Maggie like sitting alone at like a restaurant having a drink, and he walks up to her. Quinn walks into the restaurant, and he said, "Hey, Conway told me you like to go here when you're in town. I just wanted to apologize." She's like, "Okay, go ahead and apologize." He's like, I just did.
I'd like to note here, too, she's wearing like a fucking amazing Red Sox satin. Like,
Yeah, it's like a nice satin with like a giant like Red Sox logo.
it's
on
definitely
it.
like a very 80s looking satin Red Sox jacket.
It is brought up in the very first scene when they're going over all of the Colonel's accomplishments that he was born in Massachusetts.
Much like Dennis Leary.
Yeah. After he mentions, "I just did apologize," he's saying, "Hey, listen, I'm putting together a thing I like to call Team Shiny," which he brought up earlier when he offered Dana the job. He's like, "It's like the best of the best in Stroopsdorf," which is a little bit like trying to make a basketball team of the world's tallest midgets. And she's like, "You can't say that." He's like, "All right, little people." He's like, "No." He's like, "I don't think there's another word I could say." He's like, "No, I'm not joining." And you know what? I'm not at work, so I don't have to actually talk to you as my commander. Right now, you're just my dad, and I don't talk to my dad. He's like, you're serious? After I came all the way down here to be nice?
And she like puts a book up in his face too. Oh, just like fucking blocks him out with that book. Oh, it hurts.
So now he's getting defensive, and he goes, I can say midget whenever I want. I fought in Iraq. So midget, midget, midget.
I thought this would be Joe's line, but I'm like, he won't say midget.
Yep, there it is. I mean, like, I will say it in this context, but I wasn't going to let it be isolated.
Listen, yeah, I'm saying it because, I'm torn. It's not, I don't have a dog in the race. It's not for me to say, right? If it's a thing that's more derogatory, I'm saying it's in the script. If it's a thing that's more derogatory now, like, I won't say it. But amongst that community, it seems to be like most of the interviews I hear, they're like, no, that's what I am.
Or like in wrestling,
they're like, little people is what you refer to kids as. Like,
I mean, like even people who are like not pro the midget term, like they're like midget wrestling is a thing.
But isn't that a style too? Like I remember seeing Hornswoggle talk about that like that is like a style of wrestling.
Well,
yeah, it's like you run through the referee's legs, you do the certain moves, and like that's why they say like that's midget wrestling, and they don't say like little people wrestling. Yeah,
of all the terms that have kind of gone away, this is like kind of one of the more curious ones. And again, listen, if that community like universal is like, I don't like that term, or even individually, it's I won't use it. I don't need to say it, but it seems like it's one of those one that I just feel like every time I see someone speak out about it that has dwarfism or whatever, like I feel like they often say like, I don't like being referred to as a little person.
Yeah, I feel like that's also derogatory in its own different way, right? Like it's not a great term. Yeah,
I always felt that way, but I don't know. I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah, again, it's like it's not for me to decide.
I will say this though, and people having just had to meet a bunch of people I've never met before, a lot of whom are very tall. They were just like, is everyone from Boston really short? And I was like, for the most part, yes. Like none of us are from our crew of people are like crazy tall. I mean, we also grew up under the airport, so we all wear glasses and we're fairly short. So like there's probably a correlation there somewhere.
Not Nick.
Nick has no glasses. Yeah.
I just got extra short.
Anyways, we flash forward. It's a little bit later. She's still there. She's alone, just reading her book, and her phone rings. And you see it on the screen. It says, do not call dad. But she picks up and she's like, yes. And he goes, you were right. Can't say the M word. I Googled it. And apparently the little bastards really hate it. We can see that he's calling from like right outside the place. And she's like, I'm hanging up. He's like, no, wait, don't hang up. I wanted to ask you something. If you hate me so much, why did you follow in my footsteps? Like, what's the point of that?
It's a great question. I wondered it myself.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. But like, you see like that. I mean, like psychologically, there is that stuff. Like, I want to like follow in their footsteps, but be better. Or like, I remember like Jake the Snake talked about it, right? Like his dad was a wrestler and they had a terrible relationship.
He's also one of the world's worst human beings of all time.
Well, he's better now, but
no, not Jake. Grizzly. Yeah.
Grizzly is absolutely one of the worst.
Yeah, abhorrent human being. Yeah,
he like got into wrestling to be like, I'm gonna do what my father did and be better, to like put it in his face, like I'm better at the one thing you did. Not to say that's necessarily her angle. In here, she basically says, I want to keep being of service and I want to run for public office and congresswoman and senator, and if things break right, president. Like, you want to be the president? She's like, I said if things break right.
This is where I lose her a little, though, because I don't trust anybody who wants to take that job.
Well, I think when you're young and you have good intentions.
Sure, yeah, you're like idealistic and young. You like, I could change the world.
And you're not like already a career politician. So he says, you're a stone cold psycho. You're much more like me than you even think. It's like, this is why I don't tell people that you want to be president. No, that you're my dad. And he's like, okay.
I felt his hurt there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I screwed up at the parade, I saw that look on your face, and it was the same one you gave me whenever I came back later than I promised I would, which was, let's face it, most of the time. And you would look at me with those big eyes as if to say, I know you don't want to be here, you coward. And like, he starts choking up when he says that. And she's like, hello, Colonel? Dad? And she like looks and she can see him through the window. She notices that he's outside. It's like, oh my God, it's happening. Operation Iron Tear, it's happening. And she's like, move. And she like runs outside. She's like, oh, tear. She's like, no, my eyes were watering. I have allergies. She's like, uh-huh. She's like, that's the tulips. They're freaking everywhere. And then she thanks him for calling.
This is though where I said like if this is a movie, you'd like feel satisfied in the story arc. You'd be like, oh, he wants to be a good parent. They're gonna get together. Things are gonna get better. Like it's a weird. They do a lot of this in one pilot in 23 episodes.
I think there's a world where they could have stretched that part out, but also like the show, there's still going to be like the dichotomy of the two characters being so different about how they operate and do things. Like they don't have to be at odds with one another necessarily. Like as you know, I guess we'll see as the show continues. But yeah, I felt like they could have kind of, I don't know. I guess you don't want them to be on a bad note for too long. It's like an odd thing to have like the father-daughter hate each other like too long.
No, you're right. You can't like go into like season or episode 2 and be like, these people who hate each other, like you have to have some redemption to want to follow their story. But I feel like maybe this is a bit too much. Like she could have maybe caught him starting to cry and cut it, right? And then you have the cry episode 3.
Similar to, what was it that we covered? Shifting Gears, when Tim Allen had his whole colander like crying scene.
That was good.
That was really... I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, my heart, why was Tim Allen so emotional at that point? And how did none of the fucking flour just fall off of that stupid thing, that sifter, after all these years?
So so these two continue to talk for a little bit and they're kind of like getting on the same page and realizing like they're going to have to, like, she realized they have to kind of tighten up the base a little bit. And he's like, we have to do this together. They kind of make an agreement with one another. And she's like, I'm going to just go get some Kleenex so we can wipe those tears that were just rolling down your face. Like, don't need them. And then she like opens up and like yells into the rest of them, like, you guys got any tissues for men crying? After that, we just get like kind of the last scene, which is it's basic training. We're back outside. The guys are all like outside on the ground shooting.
Clearly Ferg's favorite scene is it just destroy bowling pins the whole time. Yeah.
And Papadakis is shooting. He's like, first strike of the day. He's like, yeah, boy. And he like raises his gun and starts shooting into the air. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's like, sorry. That's my bad. I take things too far. Maggie asks her dad, like, where did you find the guns? He's like, underneath the Halloween decorations. Oh.
I meant to look if the Netherlands celebrates Halloween. Because it's like a weird thing where like,
everyone celebrates Halloween.
Everybody does.
Different countries do not celebrate it. Yeah.
The American soldiers might do it on base, might have like a Halloween dance.
Sure, on base, yeah.
Typically, we don't celebrate, but I come by the base because of all the candy.
I want to see that guy in a knit, airy, fucking onesie witch outfit with his balls hanging out.
Look, I'm a little sheep.
Why are his balls hanging out?
Because it's a knit onesie. It doesn't hold everything in. There's holes.
There's holes.
My hole.
My hole. It's Gordo's girlfriend is the
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, thank you. Can we just have Nia Jax go like my hole as like a drop in every episode? It's my favorite thing ever.
I wish the audio was clearer.
Yeah,
you could do it.
Yeah, it only really works on like Instagram when there's like the caption under it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that closes out the episode. And then, yeah, I mean, this show, again, like, there's not a lot to say about it, like, outside. There's not, like, a lot of facts and information. It's still a fairly new show. Like I said, season 2's wrapping up. I gotta say, like, regardless of how, I mean, we're gonna vote in a minute, and, like, regardless of how that goes, I gotta say, like, my gut feeling is, judging by the overall IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes scores, that we're not gonna see a season 3 for this, which, is what it is. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I agree. I don't think you're going to get a third one.
I think if it was NBC, you would. If it's on Fox, probably not.
I don't know. It's ratings versus scores, though. It's like, are people watching it?
I think it has like a whatever. I don't know what's normal anymore because it's like the streaming numbers take over. So like ratings are so tough to go by now.
Well, this is a tough time too, right? Because you have to think of anything that's going on live now is against the Olympics. And like most people don't give a shit about that, but like that is death to shows. So like
I have not watched a single second of the Olympics.
Yeah, do not care. But like if you look like because NBC has it this year, though, shows are off, SNL's off, right, for like a month, It's
also weird, like football just ended. This is like the weird year where hockey disappears for the Olympics. Basketball is on the break too.
Basketball is still going on.
No, aren't they going into the All-Star break?
Yeah, Olympic hockey was like the best, and that's so. That was like the big thing. And then like other than that, like the Winter Games, well, I guess both really.
I'm not saying that the events or anything are like uninteresting or like whatever. I just don't care enough about it to watch it really.
I get mad in the morning when I put the news on. They're like, in Olympics last night. I'm like, I don't care. Why are we talking about this right now? There's so much more important stuff in the world.
That girl who broke her leg on the fucking.
If something happens, like I'll watch it. I don't go out of my way to watch like much of it live.
It's meant to be watched in clips. Come on, in all honesty. Did you guys see the clip of the bobsledders when they basically did the cool runnings where
they all
fell except for the driver, and he's going full speed. He can't brake or anything, and he made it down the entire track. It was really
He
impressive.
had to scoot his way to the back of the sled because that's where the brakes are.
Oh, wow.
So he had to he didn't realize he was the only one in the sled. He looks behind him. He sees that nobody's in the sled with him. And so while he's moving at 70 miles an hour down the ice, he has to scoot back to the back of the sled and pull the brakes.
Pretty cool to see, though.
It was also cool to see that the Jamaican team legit had a lucky egg.
Yes.
I love everything about that, yeah.
I know you guys not everyone here is a big SNL fan, but they did a thing about the bobsledding on the last episode of the season before the break. That was so fucking funny. It was not the bobsled, but the single luge, where it's the girl screaming, hating it. She's the whole conceit was that her body shape was just perfect for it, but she hated it. So just her going 1,000 miles an hour and just hear Wah! The whole time. It's that is how people force their children into doing sports. It was very funny.
To not go too wildly off things, because we're just talking about television in general. So just to get into it, just to do the green light or cancel, might as well get into that now. I will randomizer. Ferg, starting with you.
All right, it's gonna be a green light for me. One thing I really loved about this show is there's this trope in a lot of military things and even police things. It's that lackadaisical, fun-loving, Sergeant Bilko or in McHale's Navy that's going up against the hard-ass army generals and stuff like that. This is the complete opposite, where it's the hard-ass coming into the lackadaisical army base where everybody's chill, and it's interesting to see it the other way. I think the jokes are very well written. I got a few very good laughs. Dennis Leary is a great actor. Love my boy Abed, aka Danny Pudi. All around great show. Yeah, it's a full on green light. I was gotta come up with one thing I didn't like about it, but honestly, nothing really comes to mind. So yeah, green light.
Gordo.
Oh, I'm actually kind of on the fence. On one hand, it was good. I just don't have a desire to see a second episode. Nothing about this screams to me oh, come back and see what happens. I don't know why, but I've been teetering on the fence back and forth this whole episode, and I think I'm going to cancel. It was funny, it was good, it was well acted, but I don't know. I don't want to see a second episode. The storyline itself isn't compelling enough to me to see a second episode. So no shade on them. They did a good job, but I don't know. It's just not for me. Cancel.
Joe.
I think this is a perfect connective tissue type of show where we have somebody who was present in our childhood. Denis Leary was on MTV all the time, right? And doing stuff. And then he's now an age where he can be an older dad, which the Moody's I think was great for that too, right? Where you can move in these younger people and you have the sort of mixing of the generations, and you can have those jokes where it's this person's from this place and this person's from that place. And I think that's going away now. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think society has changed a lot. We don't have those people so much anymore. We made a joke about Don Rickles earlier, right? Where it's there's no Don Rickles now, right? There's no people like that who are from such an earlier time who they're funny now because they're transported into a different world. And I think that we're probably in a bad place to lose that. So these sort of things existing while they do is really cool. I've always thought he was really funny. I think the cast of this is great. I think the idea and the conceit of it's really good. I made the reference that I think that maybe they put too much in the pilot. Be you want to see the arc go longer, but I wasn't upset about it enough to not want to watch the second episode. So I think it's a green light. I don't think it'll get a third season, but I think that's modern TV. But green light for me. I will watch the first 2 seasons for sure.
Nick.
I am also going to greenlight this. I think this is kind of a perfect role for Denis Leary. It's just kind of it was almost made for him. This show, I think, simply put, this show knows what it is. It's not trying too hard. It's like tight. It's punchy. It's just a fun watch, and I can see this ensemble having like really good chemistry, and even the character. I feel like there's going to be like a really good sense of camaraderie at a certain point in this show, and like that's what they're going to build around. I'm excited. I am excited to see where that might lead. The cast is great. A lot of people I've never seen before, and they've all I enjoy all of them. I'm trying to think of a character that maybe I don't love, and nothing jumps out at me right away. Yeah, I think it has potential. It's interesting to see that this may be not well reviewed, so how it goes may be different. But as of this pilot, I enjoy it, and I think I will actually watch more of it. So it's a green light.
Yeah, so I actually have to go with Gordo. No, I don't. That. So this is a green light for me as well. I really like the show. It's one of those ones where it's like, I don't want to say it's not smart. But I think it's just a simple, fun comedy. It's unfortunate because, like I said, I just don't think it's going to extend past season 2. But this is a show where we talk about other shows, like we just did Reggie Dinkins recently, which we all loved, but question like, what's the longevity of a show with this premise? Like, how long can you be making a documentary, and how long could like it make sense for the documentarian to be there and all this? This has a perfect setup for longevity. You know what I mean? This is a show where characters could come in and out. You have all these different scenarios. You can move them out, and like the whole fact that they're in a different country. Like you have all this other stuff where they can play with that stuff. There's so much meat on the bone there where the show could last a really long time. You know, it would be fun to see them explore that. But yeah, I just thought it was a really easy watch. I enjoyed it. I didn't quite understand his disdain for just the bowling so much, but ultimately I just thought it was just an easy thing to watch, and I liked it. And I'm going to be completely honest. I usually don't do this. I did end up watching a few more episodes after the first one, and plan on watching the rest. So yeah, it's a green light for me. With that being said, 4 out of 5. So congratulations to Going Dutch. You may have like a 50% with Rotten Tomatoes, but you got an 80% with us. I want to thank everyone for listening. Again, S1E1pod.com is where you can find the links to everywhere we can find us, all things S1E1, all our social medias. Rate, review, subscribe, do all that stuff. Can't stress enough how much that helps us if you leave a review. And yeah, hit us up, leave us suggestions. We're getting a lot of people messaging us and emailing lately, and that's awesome. And we love that, so keep doing it if you have suggestions. We're all ears. Love talking to you guys. But we'll catch you next week with another new episode. Until then, thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best don't ask, don't tell.
Whoop whoop.